But secondly, there are two major powers in the world now. There used to be the Soviet Union and there used to be the Western Alliance. And then when the Soviet Union folded its tent and disappeared into the darkness of the night, then a Russia emerged, mysteriously so, which returned to Russia's Orthodox Christian heart. And once that happened, then China was the first in the world to have the insight and to have the political acumen to recognize that this Russia is not a rival to China. The previous Soviet Union was a rival to China, but this Russia is not a rival to China. Indeed, China came to the conclusion very rapidly that this Russia can be trusted while the West cannot be trusted. And so China reached out to this Russia after the Soviet Union was folded its tent and disappeared into the darkness of the night. And Russia responded to the Chinese initiative, and an alliance between Russia and China emerged. And this alliance became a formidable military and political and economic bloc in the world, rivaling the West, rivaling NATO. And now we see, in fact, that Russia is the greatest military power in the world today. But Israel wants a great war between these two giants, because Israel is calculating that a war, a nuclear war between the China-Russia alliance and NATO, will be a war of mutual destruction. And when these two major superpowers are destroyed, mutually destroyed in a nuclear war, and the population of the world is substantially reduced, that Israel will now have a chance to claim to be the new ruling state in the world. Nothing that I have said today is new to you. You knew this long ago. Those of you who have been listening to me, and those of you who have been thinking. But there are others, you know, they eat the biryani and go home to sleep. They're not concerned so much with the hunger for knowledge. And there are others who just discovered me, and they're probably hearing this for the first time. But there are so many of you who already know this. Now then, what is now happening, the connecting the dots, is that although the Great War has not as yet taken place, Israel knew that the attack by the Islamic resistance, which occurred, was it in October? Was it October? Yeah. That Israel knew it was coming. And I held the view that Israel was observing the movement of weapons into Gaza. It is not that Israel was ignorant. They knew about it. I held the view that Israel thought that the massive transfer of weapons that was taking place to Ukraine afforded an opportunity for Israel to assist in getting a part of this huge surplus of weapons going to Ukraine, to a Ukraine which was willing to sell for money. And you could go in the market and buy, the black market, you could buy these weapons. And so weapons were bought. And Putin he spoke about this, and he revealed that this is what happened. This is the president of Russia. That these weapons which were intended for Ukraine were sold in the black market, and they reached Gaza. And Israel knew how they reached Gaza. So Israel was aware that this attack was coming. On Judgment Day, the evidence will be there that I am absolutely correct in my analysis. On Judgment Day, you'll see it. But we don't have to wait for Judgment Day, because there are many people around the world who already agree with me that Israel had a knowledge that the attack was coming.